Hello guys. Welcome to Top Anime Sensei. This video is the part 8 of chapter 2 volume 10, The Bustling Daily Life. So if you have not watched the previous parts, then please go check them. The links are in the description. And if you like the video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. So without any further delay, let's start. Aside from requiring more preparation, as long as you possess the knowledge and sufficient time to chant, you could cast grand spells at little cost to yourself. Adelman was a fanatic follower of Luminism. Even after becoming a monster, his faith was not shaken. That's why, even after becoming a White King, he retained the ability to cast disintegration. But as he lost faith in Luminos, he instead turned towards worshipping me as his god. Perhaps now that the pact with God no longer applied, that must have been why he couldn't use holy magic any longer. Yes, I have become incapable of using nearly all of my magic. As it stands, even the use of lesser magic spells escapes me. I see. Holy magic, at the end of the day, was in the same vein as spirit magic. It depended on a pact of some sort as the user borrowed strength from a being of higher power. The same applied to Hinata. She couldn't have used any holy magic if she hadn't borrowed the power from Luminos. In other words, if humans stopped relying on the demon lord that was known as a god, they would also lose one of the effective means to combat monsters. All in all, I felt that the more I knew about the matter, the scarier it got. This world might have become even more chaotic if Luminos suddenly decided to do something. Then I have a question for Shuna as well: to what extent can you use holy magic? Also, who did you put your faith in? For me, technically speaking, I use it differently from holy magic. I only emulated it using my unique skill analyst. It worked surprisingly well. I see. So she imitated the magic. In other words, after I told her to analyze the magic barriers, she turned out to have learned how to imitate a part of holy magic. Moreover, and my faith lies in Rimuru-sama. I believe in his strength from the bottom of my heart. So, I thought that I would also be able to do it, Shuna said with an embarrassed smile. Ah? So, during our battle, your claim that even monsters could use holy magic was actually? It was a bluff. Even though I was confident, you were the one who actually proved it, Shuna said with the same smile. Adelman's jaw dropped to the ground, figuratively, as he heard those words. For a skeleton, this guy had some lively expressions. Right, let's put that aside for now. The most important element in casting holy magic was faith. It sounded like something similar to the soul connection ability. Shuna somehow mastered the essence of it. All she needed to do next was to build upon and study the theories. I had a rough understanding of the matter, so it shouldn't be that hard. Then, I wish to bestow upon both of you the ultimate secret of faith and grace. Luminos taught me this not long ago, and it's top secret. Please don't leak it. Adelman was already a high priest. If he were to connect with me, he would have been able to cast holy magic again. Nowadays, his magicule had been reduced drastically, and with holy magic, his strength could once again be greatly increased. Ultimate secret of faith and grace. Oh ho ho ho. I finally get to worship a real god. This guy's still such a fanatic, but I'll tolerate him for now. Rimuru-sama, is it really okay for me to know this as well? I almost forgot I was in Shien's arms. I hadn't been hugged by her like this in a while. It went without saying that I was in my slime form. I felt a longing for this feeling. I wanted to stay in this state. Shien wouldn't understand my explanation anyway, so I simply told her not to spread the news, just don't tell anyone else. Of course. Hearing her reply so full of spirit, I was satisfied. And so, I began to give a rough explanation. I see. In other words, if I put my faith in Rimuru-sama, I can also learn to use holy magic? I suppose you can. Although I hope that you can study it yourself in your spare time. You should also be Adelman's consultant. I understand. I'm looking forward to it as well. I don't know how far I can take it by studying. Shuna was quick to understand. With her unique skill analyst, she would learn disintegration in no time. On the other hand, Adelman. Wow, oh ho ho. The power is coming out. He was beyond excited. Holy cannon. Adelman shouted as he thrust one hand out before him. A bright light began to illuminate the depths of his eye sockets. A concentrated magic missile burst forth from his skelepalm. This was the holy magic holy cannon. It was invoked by the will of Adelman, with a certain power. Oh ho ho ho, God my god, Rimuru-sama. He fell to the ground and began to worship me. That's pretty spooky, please stop. Alrighty. Looks like it was a success? Let's keep up the good work. Go and learn some more advanced magic, and if there's a problem, just go ask Shuna." I uttered in a hurry. Shuna understood and nodded lightly. "I see, you didn't want to deal with this guy, so you made me his consultant? Since the person in question has heard it now as well, perhaps the right thing for me to do is to pretend I didn't hear anything. I'm very dull, after all, no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, that'll definitely drive her off." "Rimuru-sama, I will not betray your expectations," Adelman proclaimed in high spirits. I then decided to ask him another important question. "By the way, didn't you hurt yourself by using holy magic, considering you're a white?" Holy magic could be divided into two types. First, to manipulate spirit particles, which had no elemental affinity, and second, to utilize the holy element to eliminate magicule. Holy cannon fell under the latter category, so I thought that it would have harmed an undead monster. "Ha ha ha, it did hurt a bit, but it was nothing serious." "I see." Adelman's sturdy backbone let him tough it out. But that didn't really solve the issue. If he were to have Beretta's unique skill reverser, he could probably convert holy and demonic elements. That would have to depend on the outcome of future research. In any case, he should switch up his ability for this occasion. "Adelman, can you manage this?" "Oh ho ho." I excluded all the holy elements and tried to elevate the power further. "This is an original spell of mine. Holy Magic Holy Ray." Holy Ray was a magic spell that didn't have any element affinity. If he were to switch to using this, as long as he cast it correctly, the caster shouldn't be affected. However, this move was pretty difficult to perform. It would mean that he had to put even more faith into me. Amazing, this magic is amazing. Adelman was overjoyed. If he could master this spell, he should also be able to get used to manipulating spirit particles. When that time came, he would be able to blast even thicker beams of light and greatly enhance their power. This was one of the magic spells that I requested Raphael Sensei to develop. I figured that for Adelman, as he was right now, it would be a perfect fit for him. "Don't be shy, I'll be there to discuss anything about magic. Remember to contact me." Shuna was ready to handle this task for me to my relief. "Then, please work hard to practice from now on and master the holy magic that won't harm you." I sure hoped that he would put in the extra effort every day, so that he wouldn't end up as a pile of bones after every fight. That was my rationale behind those words of encouragement. "Next, as it stands, your means of attack are still few and far between. You can gradually increase them in the future, but before that something needs to be done first." "And that is? Weren't you originally a rearguard?" If I had to put it in words, I suppose I mostly offered rear support for the army. When I was still a White King, I used summoning magic to raise the undead army and win by sheer numbers. I suspected as much. Since there were no such rules that limited the number of floor guardians to one, it was just a matter of finding him a vanguard and fast. "I see. So, it was a mistake to set you up against an entire team by yourself. I'm something of a martial artist myself, but as a skeleton, it's not very effective. That's hardly the problem." This wasn't about his proficiency in hand-to-hand combat, though I think he mistook it as personal criticism. No, don't be so self-conscious now. It's fine when there's only one opponent, but when they come in a group, you have all the right to summon companions. Didn't you have a companion? His name was… Oh, were you talking about my friend Albert? Yes, that Albert Kuhn. He seemed to have become a skeleton swordsman now. Wasn't he a Templar knight in the past? His swordsmanship even put Hakuro up to a tough fight. That's beyond just strong. If we prepare proper equipment for him, he could serve as a force to be reckoned with, couldn't he? He is an outstanding man, surely, he will be able to live up to Rimuru-sama's expectations. Hearing Adelman's proud declaration, I too, became confident in the idea. If that's the case, please hand this gear to him later. I took all sorts of equipment out of my stomach and laid them on the ground. I heard that Albert could fight without a shield. Then I'd present him with this sword and armor. Cursed sword. A bastard sword that absorbed life force from the surroundings and converted it into attack power. However, it also absorbed the life force of the user. It was a complete failure. Cursed mail. It maintained a magic barrier that greatly raised endurance and defense against magic. However, it was once again a failure that absorbed the life force of the user. These were developed by both Kurabi and Garm in pursuit of raw strength. They were planning to make them into a series but discovered the flaw that no living beings could wield them. By the time they finished them, Kurabi, and even Garm were exhausted. Nowadays this has become a fun tale. Monsters were living beings as well, And just as we thought no one could use this gear, I realized that undead could handle them just fine. How about them? Do you feel any worse once putting them on? We are already dead, so we don't really feel anything in particular. I confirmed with Adelman, and it seemed to work alright. As soon as he unsheathed the sword, Shuna and Xian's expressions changed for the worse. This indicated that its life force absorption had been activated. And even so, Adelman didn't seem to flinch. That should mean that undead monsters were good to go with this gear. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have not watched the previous parts, then please watch them. The links are in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates.